Hello. So apparently I missed this clip, which is really surprising because I try to keep on top of all this, but one of you guys sent me this, told me to react to this. Shout out Steve. It's the EU president, Ms. Ursula. Well, EU Commission president. I don't know if there's a specific type of distinction you guys make. It seems kind of weird to say the president of the EU. The EU Commission president. Whatever. Ms. Ursula von something. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Here, let me look it up. Ursula von der Leyen. Anyway, she's about to retaliate against Trump's threats of metal tariffs. And I'm looking forward to it.
World. Good morning.
Good morning.
The trade relations between the European Union and the United States are the biggest in the world.
You know, honestly, I didn't know that. Right off the bat, I would have thought it was like maybe China and the United States, or maybe China and Europe, or like the EU. Okay, EU and America, hell yeah.
They have brought
That's the way I would like it to be honest.
prosperity and security to millions of people, and trade has created millions of good jobs on both sides of the Atlantic. As of this morning, the United States is
That sounds true to me.
applying a 25% tariff on imports of steel and aluminum.
Oof.
We deeply regret this measure.
Oof.
Tariffs are taxes. They are bad for business and worse for consumers.
Sorry, I do get a chuckle out of a politician saying it's taxes. Yes, it is taxes. It is actually mostly a tax on the American people, obviously. It also lowers demand from America to, you know, the exporters of Europe, so it's bad for Europe as well. But it is indeed a tax on the American importers.
Tariffs are taxes. They are
I guess I laugh because taxes aren't always bad, but in this case, I would say they are.
taxes.
Sorry.
They are bad for business and worse for consumers. They are disrupting supply chains. They bring uncertainty for the economy. Jobs are at stake, prices up. Nobody needs that on both sides, neither in the European Union nor in the United States.
100%.
The European Union must act to protect consumers and business. The countermeasures we take today are strong but proportionate. As the United States are applying tariffs worth $28 billion.
Hopefully they're actually proportionate, not made up bullcrap. Like, remember when Trump pulled that sign out of his butt on stage that fateful day and was like, here's the retaliatory tariffs, and it was just a bunch of made up numbers? That will be burned in my mind forever, unfortunately. They're retaliatory.
As the United States are applying tariffs worth $28 billion, we are responding with countermeasures worth 26 billion euros. This matches the economic scope of the tariffs of the United States. Our countermeasures will be introduced in
I can't even be mad.
2 steps, starting with April 1st. And
although this is all just like, this sucks, you know what I mean? This sucks. I think free trade is so good for the world, for both peace and prosperity. 2 pretty important things.
Fully in place as of April 13th. In the meantime, we will always remain open to negotiations. We firmly believe that...
And how are these negotiations going? Because I've heard for months now, oh, so many countries came to the table. They're all at the table. This is a 150-person table. You know, we had to buy extra chairs for this table. They're all here negotiating. Like, well, where are all the deals? Because so far, how many deals have there been? There's been like 1 half deal with the UK. I'm pretty sure that's it. So, what the hell?
In a world fraught with geoeconomic and political uncertainties, it is not in our common interest to burden our economies with such tariffs.
This lady's kind of scary. I'm not going to lie. She's kind of intimidating.
We're ready to engage in a meaningful dialogue I have entrusted Trade Commissioner Maroš Šefčovič to resume his talks to explore better solutions with the United States.
All right. Damn, that was pretty strong. I like that. I like that. No concessions there.
Thank you very much.
I think Trump was kind of hoping everybody would just lie down. Oh my God, you're so right, Trump. Those numbers you pulled out of your butt. You're so right. We're immediately going to just increase our imports from America by 10 million% to make up for all the wrong we have done.
Madam President. Thank you very much, Madam President. Let me also start by echoing the sentiment of deep regret. Today's tariffs from the United States take us in a wrong direction, and the reason is manifold. The EU-US trade partnership is well-balanced and highly profitable for both sides. It's the biggest trade relationship in the world. On steel and aluminium particularly, we share some of the challenges, for instance, global overcapacities driven by non-market practices, and the EU here is clearly part of the solution, not the problem. Last month, during my visit to Washington to raise these points, it was indeed clear that the EU is not the problem, making today's measures even more unjustified. I argued to avoid the unnecessary burden of measures and countermeasures, but you need a partner for that. You need both hands to clap. The U.S.
Whoa. That was a nice line. You need both hands to clap, y'all. Zinger. Okay. I like that. I like that. Some cooperation, please. You can't clap like that. You just look stupid.
Both hands to clap. The U.S. administration has opted to pursue a harmful course of unjustified tariffs, leaving us with no choice but to respond, and that's exactly what we are doing. First, as of April, we'll automatically reinstate our current suspended rebalancing measures from 2018 and 2020, effectively targeting 4.5 billion euros worth of U.S. goods exported to us. And second, the Commission is taking decisive steps towards the package of additional countermeasures applying to 18 billion euros of U.S. exports to the EU. Over the next 2 weeks, we will consult with the key stakeholders to help us shape this new package. The objective is to counterbalance the increased trade value affected by the U.S. tariffs while minimizing the impact on European businesses and consumers. But the disruption caused by tariffs is avoidable if the U.S. administration accepts our extended hand and works with us to strike a deal. So under the President...
and to be honest, it's unfortunate that, kind of necessarily you guys have to retaliate with tariffs because that just makes, the problem even worse. But it's kind of necessary. I mean, you have to retaliate somehow, right?
Leadership, I'm ready to negotiate, and we are ready to make it happen.
In the U.S.
Whoops. Trump Musk. Oh my God, those tweets are legendary. I'm just refreshing Enron Musk's Twitter all day right now, looking for his next stupid ketamine-fueled tweet. Anyway, they need to tariff all American fast food companies like McDonald's and Pizza Hut also. I'm trying to think of how you would tariff a fast food. It's not like you order the burger from here in America. Now, as far as taxing them for being a foreign country, okay. I see you. I see you. American tariffs will be collected from the working class and given to the top 1% in tax cuts. I'm still thinking about this first one. Like, how do you do that? I mean, I guess if they get their input materials from America, then yeah, you could, but I don't see why they would. Like, I don't think McDonald's is loyal to America, I think they'll source their beef from wherever it's, most convenient or for the best price, which if you're in Europe, it's probably from Europe. I have no idea, though. American tariffs will be collected from the working class and given to the top 1% in tax cuts. Yay. That actually is accurate. I agree with that because the tariffs are essentially like an invisible indirect sales tax on everybody, and then hey, tax cuts for the rich, and there you go. It's been done, and that's pretty much what's happening. I'll read one more. EU tariffs will be collected from the working class and returned to the working class in social programs like universal health care, paid sick leave, holiday pay, and paid maternity leave. Hey, there's truth to that as well. You know, it's like if they're gonna tax us, they can at least pay us, like provide us with something. The only ones that will be hurt are the American working class. Everyone else will do just fine. I mean, I don't fully agree with that. It definitely slows down economic progress throughout the world, which unfortunately means not everybody will be fine, but America might be hurt the worst. Anyway, what a shit show. I missed that clip. It was from a couple months ago, but still I wanted to react to it. Thank you for suggesting that, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. No, I won't. See you next week. Have a great weekend. Bye.